So today I'm going to do another tarot reading, and yes, I kind of maybe look a bit like ass today, but how are you? Let's move on. Yeah, I'm going to be using the cards to, oh wow, look at that. Fast moving energy. I set the intention to bring forth a message of the highest truth and love, and I call in my angels of the highest truth and love to be here now, and I thank you. I also call on the three plating priestesses to be here now, infuse this video, my heart and the viewer's heart, with the energy of abundance, of that clarity of mind and feeling and equanimity that you bring. And I set the intention to bring forth joy as well, as I like to. Joy, which vibrates on the level of like 400 or 500 on the Hawkins map. Okay, so we got this card here, the Seven of Wands, which I usually take this card to mean like someone balancing a few different things and different areas of their life, because this guy is bridging continents. He's a giant man. It's almost like giving the idea of you spreading your consciousness and your awareness, your conscious awareness across many different fields and planes of reality, of existence, and that bringing into things into reality in very unexpected ways, as you do when you do spread yourself quote unquote thin, but it's not really spreading yourself thin. It's just kind of like weaving in this kind of backhanded motion that maybe 222 on the timer here tells me that it's creating harmony, or maybe you're working with different energies and different people and you're giving them ideas, and then they're running off with it and doing something with it, and then they're coming back to you with an update in the idea or something like that. And you're more able to then, it's like you're delegating things and you're like more able to be like discerning and like relax back into your own energy, which could feel alien to some people. Like the way that you're going about things could feel very strange. Very strange and unusual, because you're working with unseen forces. You are working with unseen forces, so you can work with a very light touch. You can work with a very light touch, and usually this card also brings to mind that it may look as though or feel as though you're having this balancing act, like you're unsure, uncertain of where things are going, or you might not even know yourself like what you're actually setting into motion, but for some reason you're staying in balance and you're doing it with this fire energy, with abandon. There's a certain level of abandonment, wounds, maybe something that you're working through, maybe something that you've dealt with since childhood. Before I got this image in my head of like when I was meditating, of like me in my head thinking I don't need anyone, like I am my own sovereign agent onto myself. I've like built this ability in myself to be independent and to not feel guilty or ashamed about saying no, or my own independence, not being codependent, not having to like have other people feel okay around me so that I can feel okay, like, and like being able to be that infuriating person who's just like happy and like like, you know, that person is infuriating, but at the same time, it's like they spark some kind of arousal or desire in you, or at least they did for me when I would see someone who was like almost like arrogantly or like nonchalantly or unabashedly, unashamedly. They had no shame about their giddy. Yeah. And that was kind of intoxicating, kind of turned me on. And I guess that's something that I want to move towards too. Like, and I think that was something when I was feeling that way that actually was very good for me to see, like, how unaffected someone could be in their own happiness, and like how, yeah, like I didn't need to, like, they didn't need to let those things affect them. Not that they were being unkind either, because I feel like you can also be unkind in the way that you are. It's not like they were trying to change me, but it's more like they were acknowledging that was true for me at the time. And that they were also living in a reality that was like true for them. So yeah, they were like, I accept that that's true for you, kind of thing, with the way that they were being. It wasn't like they were ignoring me. And yeah, I guess there's the other side of it where you're very clearly in pain, and then the people around you are just too emotionally immature to even understand, perceive, or respond, and may even degrade the sovereignty of your heart. So yeah, it's definitely like a balancing, well, yeah, and I mean, I've definitely experienced that, and it's not like people did it really on purpose. I think everyone's doing their best. Just the way that things are set up sometimes, and the way that people are miseducated and then have to be de-educated. But yeah, so especially emotionally. So yeah, and the Page of Cups here is kind of like showing, yeah, confirming that to me, because he's like a page, he's still like learning, he's like in this like early stage of the school of his emotional energies. I always see him as kind of like an improvisational actor, you know, just very with a light touch, not so much authority. Okay, and what else can we... Yeah, so what I was seeing, because it's still here in my mind's eye, was, and it's a little embarrassing, so I'll share it, because it's healthy for my ego. Used to get into this dynamic in, like, romantic relationships where I would think that the other person, well, I needed them or something to save me, and that without them I couldn't have this internal, it's like I couldn't have time for myself if another person wasn't giving me the container or spotlight. It's almost like I was not, and okay, so yeah, that's what the conclusion I came to, but I realized I was like really holding on to this idea in my mind that no, I was forcefully pushing away the idea that no, I don't need anyone, like I don't need anyone, like I don't want anyone, I'm fine, I'm good on my own, I don't. And then I realized, I was like, wait, why do I feel so passionately about this? Like, why, if I don't need anyone, why then do I feel this like strong like that, like vehement, like why do I feel so passionately, and like why is there still frustration there, you know, with the attachment to this idea of an idealized person? Like, why is that still there? And in my head, and then I started to realize, okay, well, yeah, usually it's because you're wanting something from that you're not getting. Like, that's the cause of anger, frustration. And it's because you think things should be a certain way, and because they're not, then that's why you start to have this feeling of, you know, anger or resentment or something. And so, yeah, I was realizing what I actually wanted was for another person to kind of still save me in a way. And it's very conscious in my mind now, to the point where I was able to get the download very quickly of like, oh, so that just means that I need to actually, like, what I'm seeking is I want someone to give me permission to do X, Y, and Z. And for me, X, Y, and Z is like, just listen to myself. And like, what I was wanting at the time was like, oh, I just want to write poetry. Like, I just want to write something. I just want to write poetry. Like, why am I seeking outside of myself for someone to tell me? Anyway, and then I was realizing that I could actually just give myself that permission. You know, I could tell myself like, hey, like, just, and give myself that time. And like, when I finally give myself that time, then it's like, then, oh, and then I can feel more comfortable with giving time to others. That was the other thing that was coming up. I was doing this meditation and they started, anyway, so you might be having this experience where you're realizing that that things are being reflected back to you, and like these attachments are just more so mirroring back what you are kind of needing from yourself. And in the meditation I was doing, they had this part where we're visualizing being in a group consciousness with the others who are participating in the meditation. And they're suggesting that you reach out and you hold hands with the person next to you, or transfer them energy. And in my mind, I was like, no. Like, I was like, why would I give them that? Like, I was like, why am I having this strong reaction? And it's because I sometimes have this feeling that, this fear that I am unable to say no to people, that I'm weak to people, that I am having my energy siphoned from me. And I was like, okay, but hey, like, I actually like to give to people. I want to have that natural flowing energy, especially with other high consciousness people. Like, if I'm meditating in a field of others who are of like high consciousness, then naturally it would be natural for me to give. And you know, love is infinite. It cannot be removed from you. Like, the only reason you would feel tired or stuck or anything like that is because there's an energy that is not love that is around you. Like, so, you know, if you're giving of love, then love is bottomless. Like, you are love. Like, everything is made of love. Like, who knows? Like, maybe the single electron theory, you know, maybe the single electron that makes up the entire universe. In this theory, there's only one electron existing in so many different times and places and spaces and dimensions that it just creates this entire reality. Maybe that electron is made of love, you know? Maybe that's what it's called, love. The love electron. So yeah, and then through that, I was realizing, hey, wait, I feel like I'm giving. Wait, I need to actually receive. And then I was like, oh shoot, like, what do I actually want though for myself? And then, hey, it came to my mind like, wow, I just want like love for myself, and like, I want to balance the giving and receiving energy, and I want to write poetry, and just like, I was like, I give people so much space to just like state what they feel, state what's on their mind. And I'm like, wait, why don't I give myself that time of like, and that kind of patience and that kind of freedom of like, you know, just be how you are, like, and like, that patience of like, oh, like it's okay. Like it doesn't have to be anything. Like you don't have to be this perfect thing. Like just like, you know? So that was really fascinating. And sometimes people call it like inner child work, but I wasn't speaking to my inner child, so